जय श्री राधे सब वैष्णवों को सप्रेम सदैन्य सनम्र सादर. Jai Shri Krishna. Today is day 159 and Varta 139, the story of a couple from Rajnagar who accepted the responsibility of killing a cow. Bhav Prakash. These two are devotees of Sattvic disposition. In the eternal Leela, the husband's name is Dina Vatsala and the wife's name is Prema Vatsala. They are Sakhis of Kandarpa and manifest from her and are thus forms of her divine loving sentiment. This couple lived in Rajnagar. Once when Sri Gosaiji came there, his chariot pulled up by the Tirapolia gate, and where the husband was standing since he had some work there. The vision he had of Sri Gosaiji was of very bright divine effulgence. He fainted and fell in front of the chariot. Sri Gosaiji, being very merciful, stopped the chariot, got down from it and rubbed the man's head with his hands. He then took some water in his palms and sprinkled it over the man whilst reciting Vedic mantras. The husband regained consciousness. Sri Gosaiji smiled softly and asked him, "Hey, what is new?" The husband piped up, "Oh Maharaj, I was just experiencing great joy to your lotus feet. Why did you wake me up?" Sri Gosaiji then said, "From this moment you should serve the divine beloveds." The husband said, "Oh Maharaj, please grace my home and accept us as your disciples." Sri Gosaiji came to their house where he stayed for 2 days. He initiated both the husband and wife with the Lord's name and Brahma Sambandha. He granted them the Lord's Seva. He taught them all the ways of Seva too. On the 3rd day, he departed from the couple's house and went to Asaruva, to Bhaila Kotari's house. The couple came daily to Sri Gosaiji for as long as he stayed there. They served him in every way that they could. Then they would return home and complete their own Sri Thakurji Seva. Part 1. The couple served their Sri Thakurji very lovingly. The wife would get up in the morning and after bathing, prepare the cooked offerings. The husband would apply himself to the rest of the seva, waking and adorning the Lord, etc. They would sing Leela Kirtans to the Lord when the Rajbhog offerings had been made. When they had accepted back the offerings as prasad, performing the Rajbhog Aarti and facilitated the Lord's afternoon nap, they would make up 1 plate of prasad for their cow and give it to her. They also fed at least 1 Vaishnava every day. Then they themselves would partake. This was their regular practice, and if any Vaishnava turned up, they would also feed them. They would also partake of the evening time supper prasad. A drought and famine came. All grains were very expensive. There was no grass or hay to be found anywhere. 1 plate of prasad was not really adequate for the cow. She needed grass to fill her stomach, but there was only the prasad and no grass anywhere. The cow had not enough to fill her stomach, and she became very skinny. One day the husband was able to purchase a small amount of grain and wanted to store it in the house. He told his wife to quickly store it away in a container. She went inside to fetch a container. The cow was outside. The cow was so hungry, and she began to eat up the grain. Her face did not once look up. She just kept eating. The wife should not and could not hit the cow, so she tried to push it away. The cow did not budge, so the wife pushed even harder, and the cow, being thin and weak, fell over and died there and then. The wife was riddled with guilt. The husband and wife managed to move the cow out of the house. They thought, "We are guilty of killing a cow. We have come here, killed her with our own hands. This sin cannot be appeased even by bathing in Gangaji. We have made a huge offence. It has no justification. We should now fast to death. We shall serve the Lord for as long as our bodies keep going." In this way they expressed many regrets. 2 days passed. On the 3rd day morning, Sri Gokulnaji was on his way back from Dwarka, where he had the holy site of Sri Ranchorlalji. He passed through Rajnagar and stayed at Bhaila Kotari's house. All the Vaishnavas of Rajnagar came there to have his site. They then prostrated before Sri Gokulnaji, but the couple did not come there. They thought, "We have killed a cow and we should not even show our faces there." They cried bitterly. The other Vaishnavas told Sri Gokulnaji about this. They implored, "O Maharaj, they are the recipients of Sri Gosaiji's grace. They are very nice Vaishnavas. They have decided that they should stop eating and starve themselves to death. They have already been doing this for 3 days. They have not even drunk any water." Sri Gokulnaji told the Vaishnavas to call the couple to him. The Vaishnavas went to the couple and they told them that Sri Gokulnaji had summoned them. The couple came there to him. They stood at a distance from him, but Sri Gokulnaji called them to come closer. He asked them how the cow had died. They piped up, "O Maharaj, it is entirely our fault. How can we get rid of this sin?" Sri Gokulnaji said, "It is not your fault. You did not beat her. She was thin and weak and so fell over when you pushed her. That is how she left her body. It was her time. It was not your fault." The Vaishnava said again, "But Maharaj, it was my hand that caused her death." Sri Gokulnaji instructed them to find a penniless and homeless Vaishnava and invite them to partake of prasad. The Vaishnava couple again asked, "But Maharaj, what Vaishnava would come to the murderer's house?" Sri Gokulnathji told them to make the invitation in his name. The Vaishnavas went home and made some nice preparations for the Sri Thakurji. They found a poor Vaishnava, invited him with folded hands. "Sri Gokulnathji has invited you to come to our house." The Vaishnava replied, "I will come on the command of Sri Gokulnathji. I will do whatever he has instructed. Let's go." They brought the Vaishnava to their home and placed before him everything that they had offered to their Sri Thakurji. The Vaishnava took a little bit from every preparation and made it into a single mouthful and ate it. The Vaishnava implored him to properly enjoy the prasad. The penniless Vaishnava said, "Your sin of killing a cow has now been removed. This is why Sri Gokulnathji had you invite me. If you wish to invite me another day, I will come and fully partake of the prasad, for today I have had enough." Saying this, he arose. The Vaishnava couple then went to Sri Gokulnathji and bowed low to him. He inquired of them, "Did you feed the Vaishnava?" They replied, "Yes, he came on your command and he ate a mouthful. I asked him to have some more, but he refused." Sri Gokulnathji said, "Good, now your sin has been purified." The Vaishnavas implored him, "O merciful Lord, how will the other Vaishnavas believe this?" Sri Gokulnathji told them to go and bathe. They did. Then he told them to go to this water store and fill a small silver jug and give it to him to drink. They did this. He said to the Vaishnavas present, "Now do you believe?" They replied, "O merciful Lord, by your grace the couple has been purified. That Vaishnava accepted Mahaprasad from them and you have drunk water from their hands. There can now be no doubt. Now we will all interact with them again." Then Sri Gokulnathji blessed the couple by saying, "Go home and partake of Mahaprasad." The couple bowed low to him and went home, where they partook of Mahaprasad. They started to serve Sri Thakurji again very nicely. They no longer kept a cow at home, but found cows here and there to feed. Soon afterwards, their Sri Thakurji, through the grace of Sri Gosaiji, began to grant them his direct experience. He asked of them whatever he required. They developed into very fine Vaishnavas. Bhav Prakash. The moral of this story is that Vaishnavas must always pay attention to how they serve. Many offences can be made during Seva, and one must always try to avoid these. This story also reveals true humility. The Lord is always pleased with humility. Humility leads to complete removal of all impurities. This thus concludes Varta 139, the story of the couple from Rajnagar who were the recipients of Sri Gosaiji's great grace and accomplished Vaishnavas. There is really no end to their tale. So we conclude the reading for today here, and tomorrow we'll recommence with Varta 140. So Aaj Ke Anand Ki Jai. So Vaishnavan ko Jai Shri Krishna. Sri Gosaiji Ki Jai. Jai Shri Radhe.